Primer, 2004. Time travel movies are usually all flash, but Primer is different. It's more like a technical manual for how time travel might actually work. It's super low budget but super smart, filled with dense scientific dialogue that makes you feel like you're watching real engineers tinker with a breakthrough. No flashy effects, just the gritty, realistic, and very confusing portrayal of what it might look like to build a time machine in your garage. October Sky, 1999. Rocket science isn't just for NASA, it's for kids too, as October Sky proves. This is the true story of a young Homer Hickam, who taught himself rocketry in a small mining town. The film nails the science behind building rockets from scratch and shows how curiosity, experimentation, and a love for science can launch a career in aerospace. It's proof that big dreams start with little experiments. A Beautiful Mind, 2001. John Nash was a real genius, and this film does a beautiful job showing how his groundbreaking work in game theory changed the world. The math in the movie? Legit. But it's also about how Nash's mind worked, his battle with schizophrenia, and how that affected his brilliant career. While some parts are dramatized, the essence of his scientific contribution is accurate and inspiring. Gattaca, 1997. Genetic engineering might sound like sci-fi, but Gattaca shows a world that's just a few steps ahead of us, where your genes determine your fate. The film is scarily realistic about where genetic selection and DNA profiling could take society. Forget flying cars, this movie's dystopia is all about how humans might soon edit out flaws, and it's grounded in real ethical debates that scientists are having right now. Interstellar, 2014. Black holes, wormholes, and time dilation, oh my. Interstellar takes wild concepts like bending space and time and makes them feel real. Thanks to physicist Kip Thorne, the depiction of the black hole gargantua is as close as it gets to how we think it might actually look. The film even touches on the real effects of relativity, like how time would slow down near a massive object. Gravity, 2013. This film makes you feel like you're free-floating in space with Sandra Bullock. The physics of how stuff moves in space, like debris spinning out of control and the sheer silence of the vacuum, are spot on. Sure, some distances between space stations are squished to fit the plot, but the visuals, the zero-gravity realism, and the dangers of space junk are terrifyingly accurate. It's a space survival story like no other. 2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968. This one's a classic, and it's not just artsy, it's scientifically stunning. From zero-gravity space stations to HAL, the AI gone rogue, 2001 gets space travel right in ways few movies do. Kubrick even nailed how spacecraft would rotate to simulate gravity. And the visuals of space? Still some of the most accurate and breathtaking. You'll feel like you're truly floating out there in the vast emptiness of space. Contact, 1997. What would happen if we actually got a message from aliens? Contact is a deep dive into the scientific process behind such a discovery, from how we detect alien signals to the massive philosophical debates that would follow. Radio astronomy, SETI, and science versus faith are all central here. It's not just sci-fi, it's how real scientists think we'd approach one of the biggest questions in the universe. Apollo 13, 1995. Houston, we have a problem, and this movie nails the story of how NASA saved 3 astronauts from disaster. It's all real, the cramped spacecraft, the technical failures, and the brilliant teamwork back on Earth. This is like watching a masterclass in problem-solving under pressure, where real physics and engineering saved the day. The Martian, 2015. Imagine being stuck on Mars with no one to help you but your own smarts. That's exactly what astronaut Mark Watney faces, and he uses real science to survive, growing potatoes, making water, and solving problems one by one. While the crazy Mars storm is pure Hollywood, most of his DIY survival tactics are straight-up science. It's a love letter to human ingenuity and the science that could one day keep us alive on other planets.